the deep-rooted problems of politics as a whole, particularly for a candidate that is young and trying to get his feet into that circle. So, how was it like playing in that field at that time, 4 years ago, 3 years ago?
Four, actually.
4, yeah. 2014, you started, that journey. How was it like?
So first, the book. I think what I found very interesting is the fact that so we go to school.
Yeah.
So if, for example, I want to become a lawyer, I'll go to school and then read law. I know about law and then move on, and then go to law school and then start practicing law. I want to become a medical doctor. I go to school, study medicine, and do house job, and then get into the medical space and continue to do.
So that was how it started. You went to medical school.
No. So
okay.
the real issue is the fact that people want to get into the political space without even having an understanding of what the political space is. Everybody just comments, make opinion, and just say things that they think without necessarily knowing what is going on in the political system. Yeah. I really think that people know how the system works. Everybody just basically for example, people keep shouting, go and collect your PVC, go and collect your PVC, go and collect your PVC. And I ask people, does the vote that comes with your PVC, is it that powerful? The answer is yes, it's powerful, but there's a part of it that I said, no, it is not as powerful as you think it is. Because the political party system, the political system we run in this country only recognizes the political parties. Bisi Ogunwale is not a candidate if the party that is representing doesn't present him for election. You will not see ballot paper that will have Taufik or Bisi or Ronke or Jide and there's written on it. It will be APC, PDP, SDP and the rest of them. So the question is, how do you become the candidate that PDP, SDP, APC, ADC is going to give, the ballot, the flag to run on its platform, and that's where the intrigue is.
Okay.
So it is important that people know how this, process work, so that we can begin to understand how the entire landscape of the political system is. And that was one of the reasons why I decided to write the book, because for me, even though I didn't get the ticket of the party to run, I learned a lot of things with the structure of the political party from the that particular activity, and it has prepared me to go forward into the future, still staying in the political space to do the things that I want to do. But coming back to what the experience was like, I think it was a most life-changing experience for me as a person. I'll tell you why I say this. Number one, I've always believed that we can change the world. Yeah. While growing up, they'll tell you there's nothing you cannot do and all of that. I'm not disputing that there's nothing you cannot do. But for the kind of continent that we live in, Africa remains one of the, if not the poorest continent on the planet. For example, we've now been rated as the most, as a country with the most people living under poverty line. And I'm asking myself this question. The only set of institutions that can raise people out of that magnitude of poverty is the government.
Obviously.
Unless you are extremely rich, like Bill Gates is trying to do with his wealth, no, you can't change anything that would be that significant. And then we have the government that doesn't even understand that these sort of things are going on. So how do we begin to address those issues?
Is it that they don't understand or they do not care?
They don't understand. See, there's fundamental difference between they don't care and they don't understand. Yes, they don't care. They do not understand. They don't know what they are doing. Everybody just wants power for the power's sake, not because of they want to make any serious, significant, difference in the lives of people. For example, there was a survey that was done by Nigerian News Agency. Now, I don't know what they are. In 2016, there is no governor in this country that does not have a minimum of 100 aides. There's none.
And they're all on the government's payroll.
Some people are earning as much as 500k on a monthly basis on that payroll. For example,
As aides.
Taraba has 392. I'm not too sure about the number now. Even the governor of Edo State, that I would honestly, in my opinion, think would be better off, at 179. What are they doing with all those kind of people? And then there are schools that are just run down, hospitals are dead. I mean, look at Lagos now. This place is the most stinking place ever in the world. Everywhere is just rubbish. Between Alausa and here, it took me almost 30 minutes to get here. In some countries, you can use bike to just basically cycle your way down here. You can't even walk on the street of Lagos.
Do you think that is as a result of the structure from the beginning, from inception, or is it that the generation? Because now we like to make references to the likes of Awolowo and Azikiwe and all the likes. Is it the generation of politicians that are coming now, or the structure for Nigeria itself since its inception?
Okay, so this is where I always look at it from the two sides. It's not one or the other, it's both. So people came with the intention of, we really genuinely want to work for the development of the people.
Yeah.
Some people took it upon themselves to sacrifice whatever they had for the benefit of those that are coming after them. Those are the founding fathers. I can't see anything that is being sacrificed by these guys for those that are coming after them.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first time in the history of this country that you and I had better education than our children would ever have. Our parents had better education than we have. And nobody's even thinking about that. I pay so much money to send my kids to school, and they get the most useless, crappy education you can ever imagine with all the money that we're paying. I can't remember how much my parents paid for me to go to school from primary to university. Level. So the question is this: where is the future for this country?
So where
and then you
when?
will now begin to look at the structure. Nobody is thinking about, okay, we're living in an age where technology has basically taken over everything and all of that. The first thing everybody is thinking about is, I will have to zone president between the north and the south. I mean, what kind of madness is this, for crying out loud? Everybody is thinking, this man is a Yoruba man, that one is an Hausa man, this one is a Muslim, that one is a Christian. You have to be talking about things that are so ephemeral and so stupid, when the world has totally moved. Climate change is something that we're battling with on a daily basis. Nobody even talks about it, like it's not important. Almost every part of the north is now taken over by erosion, encroachment, and drought and all of that. Nobody's ever thinking about how do we begin to look at desertification problems that we're having in all these places. Everybody just wants to be governor so that they can sit on some money and appropriate it the way they like.
So that would take me back to the reason why you contested at the time. So with all of these problems you have highlighted, if the youth say we can actually make these changes, we can get rid of these old politicians who have nothing to offer us and take. But then your challenges at the time, being a young candidate striving to gain a seat at the State House of Assembly, from what I gathered, it showed that they are not leaving so much room for the young candidates to come in. So with all of the things you had to battle, grassroots, going to meet godfathers, so to speak, and all of that. So what does the future portend for young candidates who really want to step up to do things?
Okay, so I like this question, Elon. I always like to talk about it. I used to think like this, but one of the things that I found is, for example, this is an organization. Somebody founded it, has worked all this while to bring it to where it is now. I can't just come as a new employee and will say, this is what I want. It's like, this is what is available. So you have to work your way up the ladder. For us young people, one of the things that we make mistake of is you want to just get into the space and collect what you want, like it's your own, it's your right. No, it doesn't work that way. Some people built that organization from wherever they built it from. You can dispute how they built it or where they built it. What I know is that you were not there when they were building it. Yeah. So the question is, when you get there, you have to ask them, how do you do things here? And then, if those things don't make sense to you, you have to be a part of it and start thinking of, okay, so this is how they've always been doing it. I think we can do it better this way. This is how they've been doing it. What if we do it this way? What if we introduce it? What if we introduce that? We cannot make any change as young people or as progressive people if we're outside of the room. You can continue to shout from now till tomorrow unless you sit at the table where those decisions are taking place. There's nothing you can do. And that's the reason why everybody felt like Bisi was cheated out of this thing with all the work he did and all of that. Yeah. I'm not going to be the first person that he affected. Was I pained? Yes. Was I mad? Yes. But did I think, we should continue? Yes, I think so. And the reason is pretty simple. Compared to when I first went into it and now, some level of acceptance and trust building has already taken place. Yes. Such that if they want to do anything and they are looking for a set of people, Gwenny, what do you think? Nobody will come to your office to come and ask you what do you think when you are not part of the process. Okay. So that for me is very critical. Okay. See, I like to talk about political parties a lot. Yeah. And the reason is pretty simple. We don't have political parties in Nigeria.
At the moment?
No. We just have association of people fighting for whatever they want at every point in time. It doesn't matter where they get what they are asking for. They just fight for it. No party in this country is different from another one. Everybody just basically bring themselves together, comparing the interests they have at that point in time, and then move forward. You don't have anything around ideology or ideals, principles that differentiate parties from another party. For example, some politicians have been in how many political parties in the space of 10 years? It's where they think their interest is best represented, and I don't have any problem with that. My own is, can we begin as young people build the type of organizations that we want to see?
Independently?
No. See, one mistake we will always make is building independently. Let me give you one example. So there are other people who have come out on different platforms. Now I have about 68 different parties right now. If you put all the other 66 parties together, neither of them will be equal to one of these big two. All of them together. So why are you duplicating efforts in trying to build mushrooms parties everywhere?
Okay.
So, and again, if you want to build mushroom parties, you must be ready to go the long haul with the party. Not that you build something this year, 4 years from now it's not working, you are moving to somewhere else again. That's the problem we have. If you want to stay and build it over the years. But the problem with young people is we want instant gratification. Everybody wants to get what they want immediately. You can't get what you want immediately, but you can get what you want over a space or period of time. And then you can work for people that are coming after you. But I haven't seen so many of these young people who are ready to work for the people that are coming after them. Everybody just wants what they want.
Okay, so
here is the problem. If we're saying that we should build small parties or all of that, I don't agree with it. I believe all of us that are trying to build all those small parties, choose one of these big established parties that you think best represent what you think. And I don't care which one. Go there in numbers and go and register as a political party members. Attend the meetings for all members. Every time, make suggestions, sure that you are there to do whatever needs to be done. You find your way to a position of authority in that political party at some point in time. Most times it's in a short pace of time because nobody has the sort of ideas that you have been bringing forward. Nobody understands the sort of things that you are bringing forward. So they are beginning to see how differently things can be done. And then people are calling you, okay, I think we should do this. What do you think? And those are the way we can make changes. And then the one that, I'm going to use to capital is, you're saying, all these old men, this one, that one. Yes, they are old. Life is a cycle. Barring health issues, natural disaster, and unforeseen circumstances, they will all die before I will die. if I'm in that political party, when they die, somebody will inherit it.
Yeah.
If I'm not there, somebody else will take it. God help us if it's somebody like who has the sort of ideas that we have that is taking it. But if not, whatever it is that the person knows is what he or she is going to do, and that's what is going to continue.
Exactly. So I was going to go into that, because if you say the youth should choose either of the two big parties, they run the risk of, well, as it looks now, they run the risk of ideology change. So if you are going into APC as a somewhat bright and innovative person, but the moment you get in, you start acting like that. I think many youths are scared of this thing, of this kind of possibility, that you get in and you start acting like them. You start to behave like them.
This is the truth of the matter, yeah? Cultures of different corporate organizations have changed over time because of the changes that they've seen in the way life has changed.
Okay.
I mean, ghosts didn't change them. Human beings like you and I changed them. And it is with every young people that brings new ideas into those places that things were changed. So why should it be different with political establishment? Why should we run away from something that is most critical to our life? In my journey into political space, people above the age of 45 up until, say, 60 and so will say the greatest mistake they made, I mean, the progressive one, was that they ran away from it when people were calling them in 1999 to say, 1998, 1999 to say, you know what, you should come and join this thing. And then by the time it was, their eyes opened that really this is going to be a democratic dispensation for Nigeria. Maybe we should get into this space. Other people who listen to the people calling them then are taking hold, and then they turn themselves to demigods. If there's anything that I've gotten from those advices that I've got from people, is the fact that this is a time for you and your contemporaries to get into this space. But when I talk to people of my age group and people who are, much younger than me, they say, if there's anything you do in life, do not go into political space. That's the kind of things that I get from them. I spoke at an event in Abuja, and somebody was asking me, why did you join this political party? And even after I have explained why I joined the political party, he says to me, you shouldn't have joined any party. So you want me to contest for office and become something, and you don't want me to join political party? I don't know how that's going to work. And the guy was like, I don't know, maybe we should just leave this thing for them to go and continue doing it. And I asked him one question. So what do you want? All I want is better life, and I want to be okay. And so when I look for the okay that you're looking for, if you are not trying to find, this right set of policies that will make you to be okay. So I think we need to do a lot of political education for young people to see the reason why we must get involved in political party.
So for this year's election, I think the primaries, APC is charging 850 for the position you contested for in 2015. I think they're charging 850 for they charged because it's over now. Okay. 850 for nomination form. So for the youth who are interested in going into these things, like some of them are concerned about how they come about these funds. Like, so if you are charging me 850 to declare, to say I'm buying a nomination form, where do I get it from?
Okay, so this is one of the reasons again that I said that our democracy is not working. So you recall I said earlier that you think that your PVC, your voter's card, is as powerful as you think it is. No, it is not. And this is the reason why I said it is not. Money drives everything that is happening in the political space. Everything that is happening in the political space is driven by money. So the party decides who will become the candidate. And then you as an electorate will think you are the one that is deciding who is going to be, the person that occupies the office in the first instance. Let's look at it from this point. Let's look at the beauty pageant. For example, the most beautiful girl in Nigeria. the person that wins the most beautiful girl in Nigeria is not necessarily the most beautiful girl in Nigeria. I want to believe the most beautiful person in this country is already married to somebody and is a wife or something.
Yeah.
So it's out of those people that come out that are presented that,
they choose a winner.
They choose a winner. So it then already tells you that some people have already been pre-qualified before you qualify them for that office. So, and that's where the influence of money comes into the political space. INEC, by law, is supposed to regulate
how much can
how much we can spend on election as campaign finance and all of that. And this takes care of not only nomination form, campaigns and all of it. It's the entire of what you can spend as a political office aspirant or candidate, so to say. I'm not too sure now. For example, I think to become a senator or a governor, I have to reconfirm, but I think the last time I checked was, say, okay, the total spend you can do is 400 million naira. Wow. Total spend, 400 million naira. How much is the form for the nomination for the governorship election?
That's 22.5.
Okay, so if it's 22.5, that's, let's roughly say, 5% of the money already goes to the form alone. That's not to tell you that you are going to do advertisement on radio, TV, and all of that. And we all know how much this can be. Logistics for political rallies in different places and all of that. I think we are not being realistic the way we look at all these things. So, for example, political parties don't have monies that they use to run their affairs. So they generate most of these, monies from nominations and all of that. I can't remember specifically, but I think I addressed this in a book that I wrote about one of the political party spokespersons saying that they generate the best of their budget for every time they make budget from the takings that they're going to take from candidates or aspirants who want to run for office. How do we solve this kind of problem? And I think that's where we need to focus our energy. If political parties are self-sustaining, they don't necessarily have to, cut people's head before they can get the best of candidates to come out. What I know is that the imposition of this amount of money that we're getting for expression of interest and the nomination forms already cut some people off, the net of the people that would contest for office. So what's my own suggestion to do this? Membership of a political party should be on a subscription basis, not just everybody is a member. If you want to be a member of an organization, for example, if you're a member of ICANN or Nigerian Medical Association or Nigerian Insurance Engineering, you pay annual subscription to be members of this organization. So what does it stop political parties to also have membership on a subscription basis? So that, if it's 5 naira that every members will pay on a monthly basis, or if it's 1,000 naira that you pay on an annual basis, you know that there is some sort of revenue that are coming in from your political party members.
As it is, any young candidate or any candidate, anybody who wants to join a political party, as it is now, do not necessarily have to pay any amount of money.
The political parties just basically registered members. Everybody just come. Everybody just come. They don't want to know where you're coming from, who you are. There's nothing. Everybody just have their names on the register. How do we begin to refine membership of a political party? The reason is pretty simple. If I'm contributing money as subscription fee to an organization, I can demand accountability from that organization. Say, I want to know how you spend my money or how you go about spending this money. So if a party already has revenue coming in from members, they already have money to run all their other party activities and all of that. And then they don't have to impose so much on the people that want to contest for election to be able to get
funds
from those places. That's one. But this has other very significant and incredible benefits. For example, who chooses who becomes the political flag bearer or candidate for a particular party? Members of the party, right?
Party, yeah.
Through what we currently are doing, indirect primaries. And some parties are now trying to do direct primaries, which is good. But if I am a fee-paying member of a political party, what will then happen is I can demand that, okay, yes, I want to know who will represent my interest as a candidate of a political party. And then people can then begin to demand, okay, yes, let's throw this thing open. And let everybody that wants to contest for office come and talk to us, so that at least you want my vote. You have to explain to me why,
person has to run.
I should vote for you. That way, we have better internal democracy that is happening in the party. We have more representative democratic process from the political party, and then we can move forward from there. We can begin to see decent people who understand how this, political system should work, but are staying away from it because they don't understand it. Now come to join because they've seen the way things are working. I mean, everybody is concerned about the way and manner the country is being run. But everybody is also worried about the fact that I do not want to be a part of this process because it would tarnish some of the things that I've been building over the years. But some of these sort of reforms would help to bridge those sort of thoughts like, no, I don't want to be seen with this kind of people. I don't want to be seen with that kind of people. If you have people of like minds sitting down in the same room, when you can make case for your arguments, you can debate yourself on issues and come to a compromise or an agreement on things that you want to do. Why not? Those are the ways that I think we can move this forward. Because somebody who decides where the party gets the money they are spending from automatically controls the party. So, for example, today you have the issue of some people are the ones that are controlling the party. It's not because that they are controlling the party. They don't see the party as a party. They see the party as a business organization they've built with their sweat, money, and whatever over the years. And so they see it as they should still continue to be the one to control and dictate to what goes on in there.
Which brings me to this question, and I think it's very pertinent because with the Ambode Sanwo-Olu situation at the moment, when does it get very clear that the party is representing the people's interest, or as opposed to what is going on within the party? Say, for example, now reports are saying that the party members are aggrieved that Ambode didn't pay them enough attention as soon as he assumed office. When does it begin to be more about the people's interest? Okay, there is a section of the public now who are saying this man, he has performed fairly good. Let him continue. Let him finish some of the projects he has started. At what point does the party really say what we are doing, whatever decision we want to make now, is for the people?
Okay, so I will start by saying that I will not make any comment on Ambode Sanwo-Olu matter. I'm not a spokesperson for either of the two camps, nor am I a spokesperson for the party. What I know is that when the time comes, they will sort themselves out and everybody will be okay. But the question is, at what point does the party, does the people know that the party is representing its interest? See, there's only one function that the political party has in this particular issue. Parties are supposed to, one, recruit the best of best members and make sure that they enact the best of the best policies so that they can choose one of those best members that they have recruited to represent them in government so that the person can implement the policies that the parties has enumerated in his manifesto. They don't have any, work more than that. And then also helps to create political institutions and democratic institutions that will drive, all those policies that they've enumerated. if it's a rightful thinking political party, I would want to believe that the policies that will be enumerated in their manifestos would be for the interest of the people. And then once that is not the issue, then automatically it doesn't make sense for anybody to think that that party is serving its own interest. That's the way I see it. And which takes me back to, how does a party begin to recruit those sort of members or enumerate those sort of policies that we're looking about? We can't do it the way we're currently operating. For example, how many political party follows the constitutions of that particular party that has been written? Today, we are doing this. Tomorrow, we are doing this. The next day, we are doing this. And then tomorrow, we are back here, back here, back here, back here. Nothing is sacrosanct. It makes no sense if we cannot, live by a certain set of rules or principle or dictates as a people. How do you expect things to be better? That's the way I see it. APC, PDP, SDP, ADC, ADP, NYP, NNPP, NRC, anything you call them, there's no difference. Everybody does anyhowness the way they like it.
So, for 2019, as it is, I think that is the biggest event that people are looking forward to. Let's say, comparing it to what has happened in Osun now, does it say that people are tired of, the ruling party, or they just want, like as it was in 2015 to a large extent, they just want a change of, and new people to come on?
See, Osun State is, it's a mix of so many things. You had a state where a lot of people were not paid salaries for a very long time. You had a state where a lot of people saw projects being done, and they saw that the state debt level keeps rising, and to a state that they can't even begin to imagine what is going to happen after this administration. You saw a state where politicians basically just did whatever they think was necessary for them to do without taking into cognizance what the people want and how the people are feeling. So it's only normal that you would see these sort of reactions from people, with this election. And this has, for me, I think basically what people have said to each and every one of us who are in the political space and has been studying this thing is to learn from, whatever it is that has happened in Osun. Osun State has the highest number of educational institutions in terms of tertiary institutions that you can ever think of in this country. Osun State has one of the biggest and most renowned university you can ever, think of in the country, Obafemi Awolowo University Ife. The state has so many prominent individuals that have gone to do tremendous things in different parts of the world. And when you look at the fortune of Osun State today, and you're asking yourself, is it the same Osun State? One thing I like about Yoruba people is, there's a limit to what you can take. And at some point, everybody will balk and say, you know what, it's enough. I beg, don't come and kill me. I think that's what has happened in Osun State. But we should learn from it.
Okay.
If the political class continue to think that we can take people for granted and get away with it, at some point, people will, react. Not in a way that so many of us would want people to react, because I think that their reactions is not even as as grand as we want it to be. But any sensible, rightful thinking person would learn from what has happened in Osun State. I mean, all of us, we just kept abusing the PDP candidate. Everybody abusing the man. It's the only thing he knows is how to dance. So the truth of the matter is, it's the only dance that the man knows how to do now. The man has won election already. It was only God that saved APC from, the impending trouble that was coming to his way. Clearly, the guy has shown that, you know what, yes, why people are making noise and all of that. Let me just go and be dancing.
Is that all down to him and what he has to offer the people of Osun, or just some sympathy or anti?
It's a cake, or it's a basket of different things.
Like you said.
It's a basket of, all manner of things. For example, people genuinely like him for the dance and the entertainment that he gives them. There's something that we Nigerians we have suffered. And somebody comes and give you free entertainment. Your mind is first cool. Okay, so who is this guy?
Should that be a yardstick?
Wait! Who is this guy? Okay, I like his, the man is a jai guy. Okay, so that one is on the other side. Now you now get back to your home after you have finished that jai enjoyment. You now remember that you don't even have food to eat at home because somebody has decided not to pay your salary, and then you see the way they are living and all of that. Now you'll be like, maybe this one is even a better option. No, you begin to think.
So we continue to pick the lesser of two evils.
It's not about we continue to pick the lesser of two evil. There's nothing like lesser. Everybody that we have been picking is evil.
Wow.
We have not brought out the best of us to come and represent us.
I agree.
We have not. And until we get to that point where we can make the political system about issue-based kind of conversation with right set of people who have capacity and the ability to drive, government, we would still continue to be choosing the evils. There's nothing like lesser of evil. Evil is evil. There's no evil is less than the other.
So to round up, you did you decide not to run in 2019?
You see, one of the things that because I've asked this question so many times. I was going to run, but then again I asked myself this question: why do I have to run when we have not built the system that we said we want to build? And for me, it's not just about getting to the office. The more we have people of like mind in the system, the better for us. It's just like one person going into a space, you will be drowned. The system will kill you before you even get to start doing anything. But if you sit in a place where out of 20 you have at least maybe 7 or 8 people who can have meaningful conversation, dialogue, perhaps one person can convince another one person can convince another one. And then when the time comes to have the real conversation, maybe 10, 12 people would, have the same way of thinking like you are. Unlike when 1 or 2 of you are in the midst of that 20, the same time frame, you won't be able to even get serious work done in, canvassing other people to see your point before the time comes, and that destroys everything. So for me, it's important that we get more of our likes into the political party system first, before we start throwing ourselves or even people coming after us into the contest itself. That's the way I see it.
On a lighter note, let's just end with this. How was it like seeing an elderly person, walk up to you and say, you have to take this charm to fortify yourself against... I read that and I was like, whoa.
So, I always say to people, so for example, let me tell you something that I think I haven't said this. So, I wear white every time. And somebody will come to me, see, I'm beginning to suspect you. This one that you are wearing white, and this one that you are going to join politics. Are you sure that something is not wrong somewhere? Prior to wearing white, I used to wear black alone. People were complaining about I was wearing only black. I hope you are not going to join in one court. Now I'm wearing white, the same thing is going on. So we live in an era where, or in a space where, we believe in this diabolical ways of doing things. And I don't have any problem with your beliefs. I don't really. I'm a Christian by choice. I was born into a Muslim family, but I don't go to church, and I don't regard men of God as much as people tend to regard them, because I think everybody's just basically trying to make himself feel good and make money in the process, and that's the way I see it. But I see the relationship in terms of faith between me and my God only. So, as much as I believe that there is a God who is responsible for every one of us, how we choose to worship that God is of no relevance to me. I don't really care about it. So when somebody comes to me and says, a woman came to me and brought a small earthen pot, and it was like, mommy, you want me to your phone? I said, mommy, what's inside the pot? She said, Ijapalo and there. I'm like, what? Yeah, there's a tortoise in there. What do you want me to do? And said, don't worry, I'm going to see no about it. I said, how? You want to do surgical operation? I said, no, don't worry, we'll handle that bit. I just told him, I said, Mama, any sorrow? He said, if you know the power that is inside this thing, if I put this thing inside you, if they shoot you, if they throw arrows at you, the way the back of Japa is, you just be repelling it. I looked at the woman. Okay, so, are you going to die one day or not? He said, everybody is going to die. I said, this Japa cannot save everybody. Absolutely. Let's just leave the Japa alone. Let the Japa go and be doing his own. Let me go and be doing my own. You want to pray? Go and pray wherever you want to pray. So I don't have any problem with people praying or doing anything. I have given them money before to say, okay, you want to do something, go and do it. Take. But please don't bring it to me. And I will not go and stand in front of one shrine and be doing, and if they want to go to the shrine to go and pray, and they say I should give them money, I will give them money. But I will not follow them there. Right? I will not even follow you to go and pray in pastor's place. So why should I follow you to go and pray in? And I don't have any problem with shrine. My grandfather was a typical traditional person. I grew up in a place where I am used to all these, traditional divinations. We still have masquerade in the village that I go to see them every time. So I don't have any problem with that. But me, as a person, I just don't understand why we have to get to that place or going to bath naked in the market space, spill somebody's blood or something. It doesn't make sense.
And you had to run for your life when the political thugs attacked?
No, those ones are people that you can't do without them.
How? So that is why many youths are scared to go into the system. They fear for their lives.
For example, let me tell you, one of my friends who lives in America, we went to school together. The day MC Oluomo's birthday was coming up, so I put his picture on Instagram, on my WhatsApp status, and I said hello and all of that. The guy rang my phone immediately and said, is this what you're doing now? What are you doing with MC Oluomo? I said, MC Oluomo is my person now. The man is from Kwara. He's somebody that is very influential in the society. He said, what's your own? Is this what you are doing? I said, hold on first. Something you must recognize is the fact that these guys are human beings like you and I, first of all. They have followership that are answerable to them. Right? You need them to vote and to also ensure that, okay, yes, they don't disrupt the environment. So one of the things that I do, if I enter a particular community, the first set of people that I'm looking for are the thugs that are living in those places. The people who are typically the ones that are always,
they are holding things down.
Go and greet them. Drop money for them, or one bottle of NSC or two, and just do small merry with them. Tomorrow, somebody wants to do something to you, they will be the first person to come and tell you that, you know what, this is what they are planning for you. God, don't come to this place. Or if you come, everything happens eventually. They'll be like, no, you can't do this one here. That happened to me so many times. I would have been killed. But those guys came to my rescue twice, and they took me away from the place. Whatever happened after they've taken me away, I didn't know. But, I'm still here.
Yeah.
There was a particular one that, it was literally like, okay, yes, you were gone. And I was already saying my last prayer. I just heard one of their voices. I'm like, guy, is that you? He said, what are you doing here? The guy carried me like carried a bag of rice and was running.
That was chilling to read. Like,
He was running until we got to where he knew that okay, this place was safe. He dropped me and then went back. My car broke down. You know the way they used to drive this political. Everybody would all be driving like mad human being. The car broke down. Everybody left.
wow.
We were trying to fix the car. They came. They stood with me till the very last.
Wow.
And maybe like 20 minutes, maybe like 20 minutes we were in that place, right? Another 1 or 2, 3 minutes after we left, I started hearing gunshot. Where would I have gone? People are shooting.
So safe to say no politician in Nigeria as it is can do without them.
I don't think so. See, the part where I don't agree with is don't harm them. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Whether you harm them or you don't harm them,
they find a way to.
They always find their way. But it doesn't make sense for you to harm them, to
Just
say,
to
go and cause trouble anywhere. I know one of my friends who ran for an election here in Lagos during the last election. And then the guy, it's a pastor, will tell them, please, I don't want to see people, I don't want this one, I don't understand. They will tell him, okay, wherever you are going, we are going to go with you. There's nothing you can do. One day, they went for one rally, and then fight broke out. Before they went to the rally, he chased them away.
Wow.
When the fight broke out, they were the ones that circled him like this till he got into his car.
And you couldn't tell them to leave him alone.
I was asking when he was telling me the story that you should have talked to them that you don't want to see them now. He said at that point in time, I was just basically saying thank you to them. Everybody, regardless of who he or she is, has a usefulness that comes at some point. Don't influence them to go and inflict harms on other people. Don't equip them to go and become menace to the society. So there's something we're currently doing in Lorry now. There are a whole lot of them who just basically sit down and smoking and all of that. Then we sit down, we talk to them. I won't smoke with you because I don't. But we'll sit down, we just together, make them realize what they are doing and all of that, what they can do differently, and we begin to see how can we, empower these people to be better for themselves.
True.
If you don't sit with them, if you don't want to associate with them, how do you see
you
all
can't
these things?
understand them? Yeah.
That's the way it works. You can be scared for your life and be running around in your bulletproof car and all of that. It's not every day you are going to be inside the bulletproof car. If they are going to kill you, they are going to kill you.
Surely.
That is a menace that we have created for ourselves as a society. And the truth is, it's not only here, it's everywhere in the world. I just came back 3 days ago. I've witnessed 3 different elections in different parts of the world. And I've seen that there were political talks involved in elections, even in America and the UK. Yes, they will not be going around and be shooting people like the way we do it brazenly here. But people still, sort of have those influence in their local politics.
Wow. It's been such a great honor to chat with you. And we hope we can get you in at any point in time when...
If I'm available, yes. Yeah. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah, thank you.
This is something that I always want.
Of course. So for the future, you still hope to contest for...
Of course, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm certain that I'm going to contest election in the next election cycle, but this one, no.
Okay. All right. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
You.